Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Blue Monday. Yes, I love Blue Monday. I am working through my blue scraps and trying to get them under control because I am overwhelmed with blue. And you know, you guys can follow along and make whatever scrap quilt you want out of this, but we're going to put all these blocks together at the end and make a donation quilt for charity, right? But you can use whatever colors you want because I'm trying to give you the pattern in dark, medium, and lights so that you can follow along. Now this one is a very beginner friendly block, and it's called Snowball Rails, and I just put some fun prints in here. You know, you got to get your different textures going on, and it's going to be one of these blocks is just a lot of fun to put together. I had so much fun looking and hunting through my fabric to get this together, and I thought this would be perfect for this. So this is what we're going to sew today. But first, before we start the sewing and all this stuff, we got to give her shout outs. We've got to give her shout outs. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are putting out some absolutely fabulous content. And I would love this. I have been watching Nora from Mostly Quilts for a very long time. Now, she has put out a lot of great content. And you guys have got to go check her out. Go give her some love and encouragement and tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. You know, if you like what you see over there, hit that subscribe button too. She'll probably appreciate it. She doesn't know the shout out's coming, so it's a surprise just between you and I. So yeah, that you got to go check her out. Now, the other thing you're going to find in the show notes, because her YouTube link is going to be in that show notes, right? So the other thing that's in there is our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is growing rapidly. It's a lot bigger than I ever thought it would get. And we're having so much fun in there. And we have all sorts of different community chats. Plus we do all the normal things that Facebook groups do, right? So we ask questions, we show pictures of what we're working on. We just have a great time in there. And it's a very warm, welcoming group. So if you're part of the Facebook community and that's what kind of thing you're looking for, please come on and join us. That Facebook group also has a room under Discord. It's an app called Discord, and that's where our virtual sewing room now is hosted. And the people in there are just having a great time in there. And they're, you know, you get to sew with people and you talk with them every day and you become friends with them after a while. It's just wonderful. It's just a fun place to go hang out, and it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you never know what country you're going to be sewing with. So depending on your time zone and all the rest of this. Now we also have the Zoom sew date for everybody. That includes the guys that are on Facebook and the guys that are watching generally on the channel. And it is usually the first Saturday of the month, you know, depending on grandkid commitments. And it's from now until the end of December. We're having so much fun on those sew dates. Now you can list them out and make sure you come. We always ask, you know, what you're working on, and we try to talk to everybody as we come. But if you're not feeling in the mood of sewing or not able to sew that day, just come anyways. Come bring your crocheting, your needlepoint, whatever you're working on, and come show us. It's a fun place to hang out for the day. It's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Canada, Alberta, Canada, or I'm in Arizona. We have a little home there, so that's always really nice to go there in the winter time. I do speaking engagements for free, and I speak to quilting groups and quilting guilds. This is my way of giving back to the quilting community because I have been inspired by so many of you. It's just fabulous. And so what I talk about, I do a Zoom presentation only, and I have a PowerPoint presentation where I talk about charity quilts, elements of design. I have a little trunk show, working with your scraps and what quilts I've made out of there. And, you know, and then I tell people what has happened on the YouTube channel, like what, you know, free patterns are available there and what is coming up. So you get a sneak peek at what my channel is going to do, because we usually are filmed out a month ahead of time. So it's a lot of fun. I think that's about it. Oh, the community round robin is there, and it's Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, and Future Cat from New Zealand. We have seen some absolutely amazing blocks coming from that. I have been so inspired by all of you with your color palettes. They're just beautiful, and your fabrics you're picking. It is just wonderful to see that quilt that we put, the four of us YouTubers put together, that quilt come alive with all your things. Now I have to do one more filming for that, and that is I'm going to put my sashings together, and then I'm going to put an outside border together. So those are going to be different from what everybody else is doing, but you get to see how all four of us decided to finish those beautiful blocks. So this is something I'm looking forward to. So I guess we're ready. Come on in. We'll get to this sewing here today on Snowball Rails. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to sew our rails block together. So we're just going to put these off to the side for a bit right now, because this comes together so fast. So I've got my 1/4 inch foot on, and I'm just going to line these up, and let's see, I'm gonna race through, not really, but we're going to race through. We're going to have some fun with this. This is probably one of the easier blocks, and it's a good one for beginners, and it's a good scrap buster for 2.5 inch strips that you have left over from all of those jelly roll races that we do. We love to, or jelly rolls that we buy, I mean. So here we go, and now, normally I would put my large scale in the middle, but I didn't have a lot of this large scale that was big enough for a 4.5 inch strip. I really didn't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finger press this out like so. There's one. And I'm going to take this, I'm just going to run it through. Right, that'll save me some time. Okay, line it up. Line it both sides. Okay. Okay, here we go. And which way did I press? Oh, I pressed it towards this. Yeah. So you just press it towards something. These are both mediums. They both read as mediums. Now I know the large scale print has a navy, but that's okay. You know, that one's just fine. I do love this earring print. Isn't that cute? Let me see anything so cute. This is the salvage said it was Rainbow Star Society fabric. I got this at Trapunto, and it was in a scrap bag. So that was pretty much all I have of that. So, well, I have a little bit left, but not much. So I'm just going to line this up and get it sewn. So, okay, with this seam, there. Now, with that seam, we have our rails unit completed. Now, rails, by definition, are strips, right? That's all they are, strips. You know, you sew strips together all in one direction, and, you know, that's a rails unit. This is an uneven rails, that's correct. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this flat as we can now. And I'm going to switch my foot, because we're all sewn up here. Oops, there. I like this foot. I like this foot a little better. I can see a bit more, right, as I'm sewing. And I'm going to be sewing on an imaginary ironed line, so I want good visibility. That's why when I snowball, I like this foot better. I can see more of the block. Okay, so the goes like this, and I'm going to get rid of this block, because it'll get in the way. Hang on. Okay, so there it is. So what I'm going to do is I start here. This is a 4.5 inch square, so this is a pretty decent size triangle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make the first row, and I'm staying, now as I'm sewing, I'm staying on this side of the line. I'm not sewing on this side. If I sew on this side of the line, my block is too small and I am not able to turn my fabric. So that would be bad. You know, I want my block to finish at 12.5, right? So, and since these aren't touching, I can just put the next one on. I thought this was kind of fun fabric. You know, it's not botanical. It's not too many flowers, actually, too. It's not great. Again, I'm sewing. As I'm sewing down this ironed line, I'm sewing on this side of the line. Not right down the line. Huh. If it's a little bigger, that's okay. I can trim it down. If it's too small, there's nothing I can do about it. Okay. There's another one. Oh, oops. There we go. Now, I want to line this up. Okay. Top and bottom. There we go. All right. Actually, snowballing is a very quick way to change a block and what it looks like. It's actually, I talk about that in my, when I do my speaking engagement, I talk about elements of design, and snowballing or flip and stitch is the easiest way to change what a block looks like. You know, just by adding on yet another piece. Okay. Now. Oops. Okay. There we go. Try this again. Yep. Okay. So, now here, we're done. Okay, but we have a little bit of trimming to do. So we want to make sure when we press this out, I have enough coverage, which I do. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this and leave a good 1/4 inch behind. Now I'm going to show you what this looks like when I sew it together. Oh, I should sew them. Okay, so that looks like that. Yes, I have good coverage. There I do, yes. And now what I'm cutting off is big enough to work with, right? I mean, you can make blocks out of what's being cut off here, and you can use those blocks either as part of a border if you were doing this as an entire quilt, which people do, you know. People do, just, you know, they hang out and they make an entire quilt out of something like this. Okay. There. Last one. I should have got a bigger scissor. Oh well. Yes, I have coverage. There. Okay. So that's our block. Now this is how it was put together, right? So now when I go to iron it, it's going to be nice and flat. But let's just change feet here. And I'll show you what this looks like now that we're done. We're playing around with these. And these can be just random blocks that you would throw around a border. Because you're going to have, like if you were doing a quilt, right? Let's say you're doing couch throw. You know, it was 36 blocks, let's say. I don't know how many. 36 blocks, let's say. That's 6 by 6, so maybe 25 blocks, right? 5 feet by 5 feet. Right, of this. You know, then you would have enough probably for a really good sized little border, because each one of these would generate 4 of these half square triangles, and they're all going to look a little different, but they would match your quilt. You'd have to, you know, square them up to a common size, but I mean, that's okay. It can be done. We have the technology. There we go. And there. I'm just going to flip these open so you can see. Now, because each of these has a seam, right, that it's easier to flip this way. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. There's another one. There's another one. But going in the opposite direction. And there's another one. So if you were to line these up and let's say do a, you know, a what's it? Spinning, I don't know, half square triangle, like a windmill or whatever, right? That's what kind of thing it would look like. I mean, this is kind of fun, but I mean, you can also just use these as, you know, half square triangles in another project, right? So I'm going to leave that one up to you what you want to do with these, but these are big enough to sew together. Anyways, let's give this a good press and get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so this is our ta-da moment on that Snowball Rails. It was just a lot of fun to play around with this. It's a nice 12.5-inch size, perfect to get rid of those, you know, 2.5-inch strips from Jelly Rolls that everybody's always asking about. How can I get rid of them? You can put some really fun colors together and, you know, have this go really well. It could all be scrappy too. Keep that in mind. And you get some little bonus half square triangles that you can use around a border of a block. Now, in a block or in a quilt, I would put one this way and then one this way to keep a traditional rails layout, but you would have all of your lights, you know, coming together and making a square on point. So that's something that you'd have a secondary design coming out of this. So that's something to keep in mind. So I do hope you give this one a try. And if you're sewing along with us, this would look perfect in any color you choose. It would be great. So I hope you have an absolutely amazing week ahead and that life is going good for you in your sewing room and you're winning Bob and Chicken a lot because I haven't won in a really long time. So somebody must be winning. And that, yeah, everything is good. So you guys take care and stay well until we meet each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!